Welcome back, A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Of course, thank you for making A to Z part of your daily sports listen here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Make sure you check out all the shows on our network. Hitting Hard with John Chuckery, ATL Day Ones, Tanitra Batiste, and Jarvis Davis. Don't forget about our Braves postcast after every single game of Grant McCauley, along with Locked On Falcons and Locked On Hawks, Aaron Freeman, Brad Rowland, respectively. What a great conversation we just had with Chris Kirschner of The Athletic. A lot there for the Hawks this offseason, so we'll continue to monitor it as we go along. But tonight, the NFL schedule release, and we're going to start seeing the leaks coming out throughout the entire day. And probably as you're listening to this in your car or wherever you are, your lunch hour, you're starting. You have heard some of the leaks that have come out already. And I don't know how many leaks we'll get for the Atlanta Falcons and where they're going to be and whatnot, but look, the schedule release is a big deal and everybody gets behind it. Why do I get behind it? For two reasons. One, I just like to know what it is. Two, I get gambling lines to come out. And we will already start looking at games in week one, starting tonight, that we will start placing wagers on. So you guys know me well enough to know that there's always a gambling angle involved. And with the schedule release, we'll get to figure out what some lines are. And that's always fun for me. So, but I'm not going to predict wins, as I said earlier in the week. We're not going to do that. Maybe we'll drop an emergency pod tonight when the schedule is released. But if not, we'll have a full breakdown on tomorrow's show of the Falcons schedule and be prepared for a breakdown that actually matters and makes sense. I'm not going to sit here and give you a record and you're going to hear that all over town tomorrow. It's a waste of your time. It doesn't matter. The schedule setup is more about who you're playing, when you're playing, and what your back-to-backs on the road are, the level of quarterbacks you're playing, the level of defenses you're playing, how healthy you're going to be. It's just there's so many things that go into whether you win or lose a football game. And the idea that because you're playing the Giants in week 8, that's an automatic win is just ridiculous. It doesn't. There's no such thing. Marcus Mariota could be hurt. It could be Desmond Ritter's first start. I mean, who knows? Like, there's no way to figure any of this stuff out, especially with the. It's hard to figure out when you do it with a team like the Green Bay Packers that's gone 13-3 the last couple of years. I mean, it's nearly impossible to do with the question marks that the Falcons have. You have no idea who's going to be good and who's not, and you're starting a bunch of rookies and you have a brand new quarterback and whatever. I mean, it's just don't waste your time doing all that stuff. So we're going to look forward to the schedule release tonight. Going to be a really, really interesting thing to see, and I'm curious to see what they do with this Amazon Thursday Night Football deal. I'm curious to see how much of their new partner they're going to favor in putting games on and when they put them on. And because the Falcons are expected to be bad, they probably won't have a lot of primetime games, but they will get a Thursday night game. I assume it's going to be against the Saints. I assume it's going to be early on in the year, so the Falcons aren't incredibly, bad by the time it happens. And the Saints have their own set of question marks. So I would expect, and that's my guess, a Thursday night early season game for the Falcons against New Orleans. Maybe week 3 or week 4, when at worst the Falcons are 0-3 or 1-2, and the Saints, maybe are the same 1-2. Who knows? They have a new head coach. They're got Jameis Winston's other issues. Used to be years ago for primetime television. So that would be my guess, but who knows? Of course, the Falcons could play the Buccaneers on primetime, right? Because it's Tom Brady, and so it doesn't matter who Tom Brady plays in primetime because it's Tom Brady in primetime. So I suppose that is an option, but typically Falcons Saints has been the primetime option, and especially when Tom Brady is going to be playing so many other big teams and big quarterbacks, they'll probably use that for the showcase as opposed to Tom Brady versus Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder. So make of that what you will. But I think that's what'll happen for the Falcons on the Thursday night. I don't think they'll get a Monday night game. And that's the other thing. The Monday night schedule has always been contentious, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think we can flex Monday nights now. I think the NFL did that. I have to double check, and I don't know why I didn't check that before we started this segment. But nonetheless, somebody tweet me if they can. And so that may change a little bit too with the NFL scheduling, as they're always continually trying to get the best games they can in their primetime spots. So, which I think they also over exaggerate, right? Like, honestly, if a football game's on, people watch. Don't try to make perfect the enemy of good. I'm not worried if I get Lions and Falcons in week 16 on TV. I mean, from a national standpoint, obviously here in Atlanta, it matters. If we get Lions and Jaguars, week 15 on Monday Night Football, we're all still watching. Like the difference between 13 million people watching and 17 million people watching, like yes, there's a difference, but I wouldn't bend over backwards trying to accommodate that. That's just me, but that's why I don't run the NFL. So there is that. All right, that'll do it for us today here on A to Z. Appreciate you guys making A to Z your first listen. Make your next listen hitting hard with John Chuckery, the ATL Sports Talker, giving you all the best takes on Falcons, Braves, Dogs, Hawks, everything you need right here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Just search Locked On Sports Atlanta wherever you get your podcast. Go out there, make it a wonderful Thursday, and we'll talk to you back here tomorrow for a Friday edition of A to Z. You guys have a great day. Don't take the crap from anybody. See you.